Basically, we're talking about how to deal with and respond to hatred. So how do you respond to hate? As much as you want to be loved, you will always find people who hate you. People will try to find any little flaw in you and try to use it against you. And this could be in school, it could be where you work, it could be anywhere. Hate is often caused by fear, mistrust, jealousy, insecurity, and the biggest of all, being different. Being Christian is all about being different. It's about setting yourself apart from the world so you can have a relationship with the Father. Amen? Amen. All right. So like I said, people do this by finding your mistakes and flaws. So I want to take you guys to Mark chapter 2, verses 23 to 28. Give you guys a second there. Basically, it talks about when Jesus and the disciples were plucking grains on a Sunday. The Pharisees saw what they were doing and they questioned Jesus. And before that, something I want to note is the Pharisees hated Jesus, which is crazy, because how could you ever hate a perfect being like Jesus? He had no sin in him, and yet they still hated him. You see, the Pharisees had authority and they power, and they cared and loved what they had. And they feared that Jesus would take away their power because he called them out for speaking blasphemy. So let's read. On the Sabbath, he was going through the grain fields, and as they made their way, his disciples began to pluck heads of grain. And the Pharisees were saying to him, "Look, why are they doing what is not lawful on the Sabbath?" And he said to them, "Have you never read what David did when he was in need and was hungry? He and those who were with him, how he entered the house of God in the time of Ayyala, the high priest, and ate the bread of the presence." Is as much as the Pharisees questioned Jesus, he answered them honestly. Sometimes he wouldn't respond, he would sometimes ignore them. He would try to set a boundary, basically. But as much as the Pharisees wanted to kill Jesus, they wanted to get rid of him, he never lashed out with the same energy that they gave him. So I want to talk to you guys about don't be quick to respond with anger. Why? Because you never know what someone is going through. I want to take you guys to John chapter 4. And basically talks about the Samaritan woman by the well. Something I want to note is the name of the Samaritan woman was never known. But something we do know is she's had 5 husbands, which is a lot. She was rejected by her people, and she came to the well in the middle of the day so she would not be seen. She was afraid of what people would say to her. She was seen as an outcast and she was insecure. So let's read John chapter 4, verses 7 to 9 first. A woman from Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." For his disciples had gone away into something I want to know is the Jews considered Samaritans as half-breeds. And because of that, they hated them. And in defense, the Samaritans had hatred for them. And it says, even in the passage, it says, verse 9, it says, calling him out for it, and she rejected Jesus' request. But something that to highlight is that Jesus showed compassion. Let's read verses 10 throughout the whole, pretty long, but I'm pretty sure we all know how it goes. He basically responds to her with compassion and honesty, and the woman goes back to her village or town, and she tells the people in verse 29, "Come see a man who told me all that I ever did. Can this be the Christ?" In life, when we are attacked by hate, we tend to respond with the same energy, and if not more, because as we've gone through life since a young age, it's something we see all the time. It's a pattern that is seen everywhere. And kids, or even at an old age, you see this and you learn from it. Today I ask you guys to be someone that sparks a change into others. Be different, just as Jesus did. You see, Jesus knew the woman's past, but that's not something we can do. You don't know what the person next to you is going through. You don't know what's going to happen to them in the future. You don't know what's happened to them in the past. You don't know what they're going through right now. It's something we don't know. But beyond that, something we can do is to be kind. No matter what people say to you, show love, compassion, and represent Christianity. Show them the love that the Father has shown you. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Be patient, be compassionate, be kind, and most of all, be different. Thank you.